Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here, Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in insane markets. It is Sunday at 9:54 in the morning, February 2nd, 2025. And we're doing our weekly analysis and weekly outlook. Right now, dollar yen is in a slight recovery mode. I'm not completely convinced. I've been a dollar yen bull and been getting punched in the nose, but didn't stand in front of a freight train. So what does dollar yen look like in the upcoming week? Right now, the most important point on the week is we have to pay attention to 154.20. 154.20 has to hold in place for us to be able to get above really 156. And the next level of resistance after 156 on the weekly is 156.80. It's really up at this top point right over here, 156, the 80 level. If the 156.80 goes, we're opening our way up to the 158.30 for the week. So it would be trading in between these 2 points. Right now, I have to say it's slightly bid. Now, all the tariffs have been instituted by President Trump. I don't, a lot of people are, we're talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people think that the stock market's going to take a big hit off of it, and it's going to create a problem, and that could create a problem in the dollar. I don't, I think it's more of a buy the rumor, sell the fact type of thing. I think it already happened. So I don't really foresee really much happening in the Dow. I think the Dow is going to be more forward looking, thinking that, okay, this is not such a bad thing. And we could get, a bounce. And also that might relay into, straight dollars. So dollar yen could start to go up. A lot of geopolitical stuff happening in the world, and I'm not making excuses. I'm a technical trader, but I keep, one eye kind of slightly squinted looking at that. And I also watch muzzle velocity for the currencies. Like, are they going to, what exactly is going on? So again, the most important point for the week is this 154, 20 level. If the 154, 20 level breaks, we have weekly support at hang on, let me 153 the figure. So there's another level at 153 the figure down below this 154.20. So that's another weekly point that would be a support point. Right now what I have up here is it got the fib, I did a fib trend. I used a good old fib trend based extension, and I just wanted to look at that to see what my analysis is showing me. So basically I am within, this is the support area of this thing. I don't need this thing. Why is it doing that? This is in the support area. That's a huge support area, right? Because I took it off of a daily chart and did the trend analysis off of a daily today. So the most important point this week, 154.20 has to hold. We have resistance at 156.80. A break of 156.80 opens up 158.30. A break of 158.30 brings us up to, like 160. So pay attention to the daily analysis. Those are the weekly points. So let's move on over to good old sterling dollar. And I don't have an extension tool up on this thing. So okay, sterling basically is been trading in huge rectangle right now. It is still bearish. In order to show any type of strength this week, it needs to get over 125.50. So I'm going to move this up for the weekly, 125.50. It has not had any type of muzzle velocity whatsoever. The critical price for the week is 123.44. If 123.44 breaks, we're looking at 122.5. Now, there has been some geopolitical stuff happening over in Britain. You know, I think it's called the UKIP party, is basically gaining a lot of momentum. There is riots in the streets. So there may be a tide turning in Great Britain to go towards more nationalism, like what's been happening, nationalism, populism, like what's been happening here in the United States. And Nigel Farage is the one that's running that party. So they haven't called snap elections yet. And there's a possibility that they would. But right now, as it stands, geopolitically, it's kind of going towards where cable could recover if the big boys believe that there's going to be a change, and it's going to be a change more towards nationalism and Britain first type of idea, then the cable could reverse. Now, the point that we have to watch in the cable, if I'm just using this low that I have right here. So if I'm looking at this, I got a low, I got a high, I got a higher low. This is a 4-hour chart. Got a higher high, got a higher low, but I'm threatening this higher low right now on the 4-hour. I could pull back all the way 123.44, and then if I reverse back up through that, that's basically the lower low that I need to watch. Now that would be more on a daily. So on the weekly, if we go to the daily chart, let's go to the daily chart. We got a high, we got a low, we got a lower high, we got a deeper low. This is the break point on the weekly. I mean, that's far. I mean, well, not really. I mean, it's 120.92. So if I say, okay, here's my trend and here's my reaction off of the trend, if I even use this tool on the daily, I got my high, I got my low, and I got my reaction off of it. I can unlock this. I'm getting my pullback right to the 0.382. That's that 122.52 that I said was a critical price before. So right now, cable basically could track this week between this and this 122.52. Now we're at like 123.90 right now. So the critical price on the week would be this 122.52. If that level goes, then we're breaking back down towards this level in here. These two levels. Now, a coffin box is the end of a trend, right? I consider the end of a trend in Fibonacci between 0.618 and 0.82. This is a coffin box. This is usually where downward trends, they tend to reverse. If they don't, then the thing is really heading downward. So what I just say, let me put my mind in perspective here. Let me just take this. I locked it. So I got a high of 125.30. So let me unlock it. That's close enough. Let's go to a 4-hour again. So we have our support 123.49. A break of 123.49 drives us to 122.57, which also happens to be that very close to that 0.382 on the fib extension tool, trend extension. We need to get above 125.50 to shake off any weakness. I suspect the cable is going to trade within a big rectangle this week. Any break of the bottom of 122.57 sends us back down towards the low bar's close on the 4-hour right around here, 121.70. Now, like I said, the only way it shakes off weakness is a break above 125.50. All right, so let's go over to good old sterling yen. All right, so sterling yen is in a slightly bearish, neutral to bearish tone right now. The most important point right now in cable, a sterling yen to hold is 192 the figure right now for the week. 192 the figure. Close enough. 190, 199. That's an important point for it to hold, to show kind of it's still moving upward. There's resistance at 195. Actually, 190, 194.89 exactly, but 194.89 is the resistance. It needs to hold above this during this week with the 192. If it breaks the 192, most likely we're trading back down towards this low bar's close right here, 190.61. Actually, the target would be really 190 the figure for the week. 190 the figure. As it stands right now, it is neutral to slightly bearish. It all depends on what happens with dollar yen and, of course, sterling dollar. If sterling dollar starts to recover and dollar yen gets pinned, then this cross is going to start to grind higher. Where would be a break point with this? Let's see here. 190, 120. $190, like short term, like this, I would use this for the dailies. A break of 192.40 right now. Actually, sorry, 192.40, 193.04. I see that on my calculation. 192. It's 193.04. So 193.05. A break of this would be actually be saying that we're trading a little bit higher during the week, and we're going back up into this area over here. So right now we are still slightly neutral to slightly bearish. Let's go over to good old euro yen. This is the same scenario as sterling yen. It needs to get over 162 the figure to show any type of like momentum upward. Let's go over here, 162. Let's unlock this. $162 the figure right now in this week. Get rid of that. That's from the daily stuff, which was spot on. Support for the week is 159.70. 159.70. Fine, close enough. So right now we have a big rectangle between these two levels for this week. We need to get over 162.09 this week to show some strength. Now, we got to pay attention to the dailies. I will go over each individual daily point. This is still neutral or slightly bearish. I could foresee sterling yen going up and euro yen going down. I can foresee that because sterling is, well, actually, I can't even say that because what's going on in Germany with the ADF party, they're also going towards populist nationalism. So I can't say that. I have to take that back. Again, geopolitical news, we could start to see the euro recover because Germany's mostly the euro, right? I mean, the Deutschmark is the heaviest weighted currency in the European currency union. It's the Deutschmark. So they're starting to basically also go towards political nationalism. So it's going to be a really interesting week of what comes out. So we got to pay attention to the dailies. I keep saying it, but right now we're still neutral to slightly bearish as this chart ends. I would start to be a little suspect of this, and I'll be talking about that for the daily analysis. So there we have the weekly analysis coming up, and I look forward to talking to you guys during the week. Cheers.